Would you like a way to quickly raise the energy of your audience at any time? What if this way can also get them more engaged? Well, great. Then you'll want to use what I call the discuss and debrief method. Here's a normal scenario I see with lots of speakers. They look at their audience and they ask a question like, what are some important factors to successfully undergo change in your organization? And guess what the audience does? Nothing. Nothing. You could hear a pin drop. There's no answers. Have you ever faced that kind of silence when you spoke? Now look, I know silence is golden in speaking, but not all the time. So how can we ask questions that get lively responses and raise the energy every time? You do what I call give your audience oil. Give them oil. You have to loosen up their minds, and there's a quick two-step process for doing this. And before we get into the process, just listen to this very quick live audio of me using the process. When you're in limbo, when you're trying to make changes, but you're going through that forest, that unknown period, for 60 seconds I want you to turn to a neighbor and I want you to discuss what's the most important thing about change. Okay? Is it a vision? Is it a positive mental attitude? Discuss with a neighbor what's the most important thing about successful change so that you can continue on the spiral of remarkable results. 60 seconds, talk to one neighbor. Keep your eyes on your own paper. Ready? Go. What are some things that you thought about are most important? Go ahead and yell it out.
Perseverance.
Perseverance. Very good. We're going to bring that up in a minute. What else? Positive attitude. Okay, good. What else?
Keep changing.
Say again?
Keep changing.
Keep changing. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. What else?
Willingness to change.
Exactly. Of course, you're not sitting in the middle, but that's okay. It's Okay, so I gave them oil. And did you hear their responses shoot out? Well, here's the two-step process for the discuss and debrief method. And you can use this in keynotes. You can use it everywhere. Step number one, instead of asking a question to your entire audience, ask them to turn to a partner or two partners and discuss a question. And give them a time limit. Now, I often use this with diagrams and charts and things like that also, because it really gets them to think and it loosens up their minds. Step number two is to have them turn back to you and start shouting out any answers they have. That's the debrief part of the method. And because they've received informal validation from their group and they've had a lot of time to think about it, well, at least 30, 45 seconds, they feel much more comfortable speaking up and shouting out. It's a powerful method. Believe me, you'll probably be very surprised how fast and also how effortlessly they shout out responses. And again, this is because they've loosened up their minds. They've gone from listening mode, when they listen to you, to thinking mode. And their responses will most likely align with your point. And therein is the genius of this method. Write this down. If they say it, they buy it. In other words, if you get them to say part of your message, they'll buy into your message. Most speakers simply give their answers or give their messages. The better speakers ask for answers, but the best speakers use a form of this discuss and debrief method so that the group can come up with the answers that reinforce your message. Does that make sense? So not only does it raise the energy of the group, not only does it make your speech more fun, not only does it keep them engaged, but it also helps to sell your message. Again, if they say it, they buy it. So use the discuss and debrief method. That's it for this week. Look for next week's tip, and until then, keep speaking up. Keep speaking up.